Flooding is getting worse in China, and the Chinese Communist Party is responding in pretty much the way you'd expect. Welcome to China Uncensored, I'm Chris Chappell. It's been months of severe weather in China. Devastating floods have ravaged many of China's provinces, affecting over 60 million people and causing $25 billion in damages. And despite how bad that's been, Chinese officials are warning the worst is yet to come. And all this flooding is putting a lot of strain on the Three Gorges Dam. In July, Chinese officials said the dam was deformed, but still safe. But there's so much water, dam operators are doing things they've never done before.
On August 19th, the Three Gorges Dam opened 10 spillways to lower the flood pressure for the first time since 2003, when the massive dam started operation. On the day before, Sichuan province issued a level 1 flood alert, also for the first time in history.
The flooding upstream of the Three Gorges Dam is causing severe problems in the megacity of Chongqing. Last month, flooding downstream of the dam caused damage in the city of Wuhan.
Residents in Chinese cities Chongqing and Wuhan were keeping their fingers crossed when the fifth flood peak on the Yangtze River arrived at the Three Gorges Dam. The water coming into the dam reached 75,000 cubic meters per second on the morning of August 20th, the highest level since the dam was commissioned in 2003. Water levels and flood volume in Yangtze River's Chongqing section, which is immediately upstream of the dam, both exceeded the previous historical records set in 1981. In the riverside districts, residents who live on the first and second floors were required to evacuate.
This could be a problem for the Chinese Communist Party.
The middle and downstream Yangtze River area is supposed to be the richest and most urbanized, yet people there feel so weak and helpless. This raises concerns for China's future and questions about the governance model.
But don't worry, Chinese leader Xi Jinping is there to show the people how much he cares. The flooding is severe right now in China's southwest and northwest, so Xi Jinping visited the southeast in Anhui province. Anhui was one of the worst hit provinces, but that was back in July. Floodwaters have now started to recede there, so the perfect place to visit.
According to Chinese state-run media, Xi visited local farmers during his trip. One photograph shows him meeting with this woman and child. But netizens soon discovered another photo of hers, this time wearing an official uniform. The woman is actually the deputy captain of a public order group, part of Anhui Province's Public Security Bureau.
So as I said, Xi is showing people how much he really cares. But the Chinese Communist Party also cares about other still flooding areas of China. They sent their number 2 guy, Li Keqiang, to Chongqing. Li always ends up with the dirty work. Speaking of dirty work, when Li visited Chongqing, petitioners were detained and beaten. Yeah, sometimes you just have to arrest petitioners to protect them from the floods. The flooding has also devastated China's breadbasket. On top of the reduced production caused by the coronavirus lockdown, a lot of farmland is flooded. China is facing potentially one of the most devastating food shortages in decades. But don't worry, because Xi Jinping is there again to show everyone how much he cares. He's declaring a war on food waste. Yeah, Xi Jinping, tighten that belt. Because if for some reason there's a food shortage, it's nothing to do with him or the corruption in the Communist Party. It's because some people were wasting food. And Chinese state-run media has some good advice for the Chinese people.
In the face of an imminent food crisis in China, the anchor of CCTV, Bai Yansong, has spoken out saying that the Chinese people need to restore the feeling of hunger.
Yeah, don't eat that. Restore the feeling of hunger, like in the good old days of Mao Zedong, when people were really hungry. And now is the time when I answer a question from a fan who supports China Uncensored on the crowdfunding website Patreon. Ian Jackson asks, has anyone noticed how much Lukashenko looks like Scotty out of Star Trek Generations? I have not noticed. Let's take a look. Here's Lukashenko, the president of Belarus, and here's Scotty from Star Trek IV, the best Star Trek movie. Wow, I do see the resemblance. And here's another thing they have in common. With all the protests in Belarus, I have a feeling when Lukashenko thinks about his grip on power, he says, "I cannot hold it!" Thanks for your question, Ian. And thank you for watching. If you like this show, be sure to subscribe. Remember, we publish new videos on China Uncensored every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. YouTube has not been sending out notifications to everyone, even if they're subscribed and have the notification bell turned on, so check back often. And if you like uncensored news about China, please support the show on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/China Uncensored to see how. And did you know that we also have a podcast on China? A few weeks ago on China Unscripted, we talked with U.S. military analyst Andy Wolf about how the flooding in China might affect China's military. Check it out. China Unscripted is available on all major podcast platforms and with video on our China Unscripted YouTube channel. Be sure to check it out and subscribe for more great podcasts. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time.